All right, people. Hello. Welcome back to another show. This is GVS, where I cover all things sports, and we just talk about things, whether it's predictions, reviews, theories, just like, yeah, just a typical nightly sports talk show. Hope you guys had a good day. I put it in the comments section because I want you guys to give me a sports take. So let me know, like, your opinions on who you got between the Panthers or the Hurricanes, Stars or the Oilers, how you feeling about the MLB, NHL, NFL, WNBA, whatever it is. What's a sports take you have? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll try to cover it and stuff during the stream at the end of it, because what I want to do is I want to try to turn this thing into, like, where we have enough people on board. We can have the chat up, and we can have something where we have, like, a nice, cordial, like, I'm answering questions. Does that make sense? Kind of like how it was with the football watch-alongs, where there was enough people in the chat. Sometimes, like the algorithm, it is what it is. But on today's show, we got contracts that we got to talk about. There's two big contracts that have come out with Fred Warner and Nick Sirianni. I wanted to touch base just a little bit on our conference finals that we have between the NBA and then the NHL. We'll look at, see if there's any last-second news that has been posted from the NCAA with college football, and then we'll look at probably baseball, and then we'll call it a show. Just because of how slow news is today, and how today wasn't exactly the biggest day when it comes to news. That's why this is probably going to be like a quick show, maybe 20-30 minute show, so we'll just see. But yeah, glad you guys are here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. Okay, let's jump into the MLB first. First thing that I did see that I do remember reading earlier this morning is the Mets, top headline, Mets to talk to Soto about hustling. And a lot of it has to do with just kind of the attitude and what his attitude was when they came back to the he came back to the Bronx, and instead of being on this side of town, where the Mets play, he was where the Yankees played. And a lot of, like, I mean, an overreaction would be, okay, we're beating a dead horse here. Like, why? Like, I mean, he obviously, he puts a little bit of effort into it. I mean, he's being paid millions of dollars. And so to try to blow this thing out of proportion on, the effort and the execution's not there, I think would be a little bit much. Some bigger things that happened today, just because today was slow and because we don't have a playoff game tonight. Playoffs start tomorrow officially for the NHL and the NBA with those conference series. The biggest thing that I turned on the TV and I was like, okay, is there any sports today? I did watch like 1 second of the Reds versus Pirates game, which that game ended at 7-1, and it looks like we got some other big. I mean, Dodgers are losing to the Diamondbacks 9-3. Let me see if there's nothing too crazy with baseball, but that was the biggest thing that was coming out. And then we talked about a little bit what happened the other day with how there's the guy that got suspended for PEDs for 80 games. So we covered that a little bit. But I think, with Juan Soto and who he is as a player, Mets will be fine. They'll be fine. There's no need to overreact. On that part, let's now move to college football. See if there's anything going on. Nope. Still same old, same old. We're kind of getting to that point where it's going to get quiet for a minute, just because spring football is over. Transfer portal's closed again, and so now we're going to sit with June and July, where just waiting for. And I think we hit 100 days. Yeah, we hit 100 days a couple days ago. So I'm pretty excited. We'll probably have a series of videos coming out where I'm giving predictions on, like I do kind of want to roll into, where it's like, yeah, I'll give, I'll predict Clemson's schedule right now, and then I'll predict Clemson's schedule in the middle of the summer, around the 4th of July, and I'll predict it again, like right as we're going into week 0. Like, I don't mind. Like, I think because a lot of spring games, like, just because whether it was the different format, a lot of spring game practice footage isn't on the internet like how it has been in years past. The other thing too is um, you can kind of, because like for example, Drew Aller, we know who Drew Aller is as a quarterback, but like, how does he look this year? Sometimes it's hard to find those Penn State highlights. We know how Cade Klubnik is or Garrett Nussmeier, so we'll probably do that, but again later, because right now nobody's talking about college football. College football isn't the biggest thing people are talking about right now, and if they're talking about anybody, they're talking about how Coach Belichick's girlfriend's a distraction and stuff, which I could care less about that because it's not really football. Hard to hear. All right, let me turn up the mic a little bit. How about that, huh? Sound a little better? I know the music that I got now kind of drowns me out a little bit. Thanks for the fix though. We'll fix that. But whether everything that's going on at UNC with Belichick, his girlfriend, is she banned? Is she not? Like I just tend to stay far away from that because it's like, or the proposed idea of like a commissioner in college football and stuff. It's like we're all leaning towards it's going to be Nick Saban, and I'll agree with that sentiment too. Like that's what we're leaning towards. But I'm not going to sit here and go, Caleb, here's day 10 of talking about who the future commissioner is. I'll probably make a reaction video when it's set in stone and when it happens. And we'll not know that for, a couple more years from now. But to move forward, so there's nothing really going on, but be sure to tune in. We'll probably have some predictions on how this season might go. Okay, let's talk about the NBA. Some big things going on. Is nothing. The only thing that I can think of, let me close this out because it looks like we got everything. Let me see with NHL. Is there any other big? No, there's no other big trades, no other big news. It looks like to kind of lean and give a prediction and a preview on the Knicks versus Pacers series is hopefully this thing can go 7. I really do think it could go the distance. I'm curious just because of how the Pacers stole 2 in Cleveland. Are the Knicks going to give up some at Madison Square Garden? So I'm kind of looking at that, and vice versa. Like Indiana hasn't lost at home yet. No, they lost Game 3. They lost Game 3 to Cleveland. But I mean, can Jalen Brunson and the boys go in there, sneak one out? That's yet to be determined. But right now, I'm leaning towards Knicks. Honestly, I'm leaning towards Knicks winning the whole damn thing. And that's not because I'm a huge Knicks fan. Here we go Knicks, go. No, like I'm a Heat fan, but just the idea of the Villanova boy. Well, and then there's the meme about like the Pope being a Villanova guy, the Pope being from Chicago and all that. I'm just kind of leaning towards the funnest team to watch right now are the Thunder, are the Pacers, and are the Knicks. Not saying that the T-Wolves aren't a fun team to watch, but like you take away Anthony Edwards. I'll say the quiet part out loud. You take away Anthony Edwards, these Wolves aren't where they are. And so I'm with the Knicks and the Pacers. Like I can't say right now confidently 100%. Okay, I know who's going to be here. I know who's going to win this. But I'll lean towards the Knicks. I'll lean towards the Knicks winning it. It's probably going to be in 6. It would be cool if it was 7, but it's probably going to be 6. And then for the T-Wolves and the Thunder, I just think the Thunder are too much. I really do. Like, Edwards is going to drop 30 a game. He's going to average 30 a game. SGA is going to average 30, 35 a game. But it's everybody else. Whether it's Williams, whether it's Chet Holmgren. If we know SGA is going to have a huge performance, and if we know Edwards is going to have a huge performance, is Julius Randle letting the T-Wolves down? Is Dante DiVincenzo not stepping up? Is Gobert going to have a bad game? So I'm looking at the series being won and lost in that instance and in that situation. And so then with the Western Conference Final, I'm leaning towards the Thunder. So right now, I'm leaning towards the Thunder's Knicks NBA Finals, which Don't know how that's going to go over. I really don't. Like, I think what's really fun about this Final Four and the NHL Final Four is anybody could win it. I really do. Like, I think T-Wolves very well could win it single-handedly with Anthony Edwards. You get the MVP, SGA going at it. He wins it for Oklahoma, brings the Thunder their first ring. The Thunder, not the organization, because they won one with the Supersonics, but in Oklahoma City, you have that point of view. And then with what's going on, like just the brotherhood of like just how the team is built, whether it's the Pacers or the Knicks, just like there's a lot of fun things to follow along with. I'm leaning towards Knicks Thunder. We'll see. And I like how too, and I'll kind of like side tangent. I like how Jalen Brunson's finally getting his flowers and finally getting the respect he deserves, because he was fine on the Mavericks before the Mavericks traded him away. Like, he helped the Mavericks get to the Western Conference Finals before they lost to Steph and the Warriors. And that team ended up winning the NBA Finals, so there's no like shame in how they lost. But again, hindsight's always 20/20. So the fact that like his career has exploded since he left Dallas, same thing might happen for Luka. Who knows? Like, I really don't know. But so that's my thoughts on the NBA Conference Final. Stay tuned. We'll have, just with the videos that I made today with reaction to Nick Sirianni, Fred Warner, contracts and stuff in the timeline of videos that I got ready to go, I didn't jump into making a prediction video for these conference finals, which I should have, because what's going to happen tomorrow? These things are going to start up. They're going to be the most important. So maybe I should have put a pause. But I kind of, for my channel personally, I throw football in the front, where it's like, oh, there's some college football news. Well, everything else, goodbye. Go away for like 2 seconds. We'll put that in, on the back burner. So, with the NFL, now let's transition to the NFL. Let's talk a little bit about football. Cover the NFL a little bit, then we'll do the NHL, and then we'll wrap it up. If you guys have any sports takes, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to look at them at the end of the show, and I'll answer like your questions and stuff. If you have any cool sports takes, what's a hot take that you might have, be sure to hit that like button. That helps out a lot. So with the NFL, 2 videos I made, but to just kind of double down and give more thoughts to it, the 49ers are starting to pay a lot of money this offseason. They paid Kittle. They paid Kittle. They paid Purdy. They paid now Fred Warner. So those are 3 pieces that you just paid. This is also including, I believe they paid Trent Williams last offseason with Brandon Ayuk. So there's 2 other big players. They paid Nick Bosa, I believe, in the summer of 2023, because I believe there was contract disputes around that time as well. And so you look at the top 6 guys, 7 guys, maybe there's one more that I'm forgetting, how these are your pillars of the team. It's time to go win now. Because truthfully speaking, if we are not careful, I am a big 49er fan. I like what I see. I like Christian McCaffrey. I like Fred Warner. Hell, I like Bosa. I like this team has been very fun to watch. Now, what kind of concerns me is if they're not careful enough. They paid Brock Purdy all this money. They pay all these guys all this money, and then they end up turning into Dallas, where, okay, they're turning hand over fist to pay players, to keep players around like CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, but like, where's the success? You know what I mean? And I think if because we're already feeling 49er fatigue, because just that's Deebo Samuel, he wanted out of town. But like, and half of the defense too, because half the defense left. We're going to run into a situation where there's going to be 49er fatigue we're already feeling it with the Chiefs, but that's for a different reason, because they actually are very successful. I would not be surprised if they can't win a Super Bowl in the next 3-4 years. Warner's gone, Kittle's gone, Williams is gone. Ayuk would probably at that point already be out the door and going and joining Jaden Daniels or another team on the rise in the NFC. So it's going to be intriguing, and it's going to be very interesting to see as we've come down the barrel here of, hey, we got to pay the piper. Can the 49ers find a way to jump back into the NFC Championship / Super Bowl, or are they just going to kind of plateau and just be middle of the pack, kind of like how the Cowboys have been? The Saints for the final remainder of Drew Brees' career. Tom Brady's Bucks right before he retired. What's another? Tony Romo's Cowboys, where they got the guys, but just they never get it done. Russ's Seahawks after Super Bowl 50, from 2017 to 2021. So it'll be really interesting to see. Anyways, let's continue. We'll talk about a little bit about NHL, and then we'll end the stream, guys. But I thank you for being here. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys are enjoying the show. I try to do this nightly, and maybe when we roll into the summer and stuff, we'll do morning shows, and we'll just give predictions for games and stuff, because by that point we'll be finishing up the Eastern and Western Conference Finals in both leagues. Then we'll roll into the Stanley Cup. We'll roll into the NBA Finals. So the last thing that I want to talk about is, I forgot Nick Sirianni. Sorry, let me talk about Nick Sirianni too. Eagles decide to extend Coach Sirianni. In my video, I made a little bit of fun with how just the segments on the Pat McAfee show and how they got Ty Schmidt acting like Coach Sirianni. Freaking hilarious. But I think it's the right move for Philadelphia. I really think you could look at the Lombardi just single-handedly being the reason for success from some certain points of GMs. But I think the GM, I believe his name's Howie Roseman, after the Eagles won Super Bowl 52, I had a gut feeling, okay, we could be moving into a new era and a new dynasty. And guess what? Carson Wentz is the future of the NFL. Did that ever shake up? No, it never did. It ended up kind of going to the Chiefs. But I have a feeling that, you look at the hunt with the Chiefs, you look at the Chiefs, you look at the Eagles, you look at what they got going on in Motor City with the Lions, a little bit of the Rams. I'll throw the Rams in the mix and that conversation. I'll throw the Bills in there. I'm kind of, I'll put the Bengals and the Packers together because it's a sticky situation with how we have seen moments where it's hey, you want to win and we can tell you want to win, but then you're not getting Rodgers receivers. You're not getting Joe Burrow help on the defense, because the guys that want to play defense, who want to be there, you're not paying them. So I look at it from that point of view. So I'll put the Packers and the Bengals together and I'll clump them where they're almost there, but we have seen in the last 10 years, realistically speaking, there's 3-4 teams in the AFC, 3-4 teams in the NFC where they're going to make a run, and it might be that way this year. And I think all that to say, to come back around to say, the fact that the Eagles decide to keep Coach Sirianni around for a little bit longer, Eagles are making another run, and Eagles will compete for another Super Bowl. I'm going to say it right now, as hyped up as I want to make the Eagles on, they're going to win the division. I don't think they will. Historically speaking, we've seen the stats. You know the stats. The division goes back and forth, swip, swap. I'd lean towards the young and upcoming Jaden Daniels and Washington. I'm going to lean towards Washington winning the division this year in the East, securing probably a 4 seed, which would probably give the 49ers or Rams the 3 seed. Hold on. The Bucks and Falcons, they aren't getting the 2 seed. Hold on. Lions are getting the 1 seed. Or Lions or 49ers or Rams are getting the 1 seed. I'll throw that out there. And then the 2 seed will go to whoever wins the West. The 3 seed will go to whoever wins the East, and the 4 seed will go to whoever wins the South. Because, like, I think the Bucks are going to win the South, but I don't think the Bucks will have more wins than the Rams or the 49ers or the Lions. Does that make sense? Unless, hell, Baker Mayfield puts on a hell of a show. He ends up winning the MVP. And look at this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 15-2. 14-3 going into the postseason as the 1 seed. I don't think that, but they definitely have a shot. Washington winning the division, they'll probably be the 3 seed or the 4 seed. Eagles would probably be the 5 seed or the 6 seed, because Eagles aren't going to win the Super Bowl and then just magically drop off and not reach the playoffs. They're going to the playoffs this year. You can pretty much mark that, because they just are. Like, the Eagles are still a very dominant team. But yeah, I'd lean, even with bringing him on the extension, I'm going to lean towards the Eagles taking a little bit of a step back and Washington winning the division. Or, hell, I mean, I kind of touched on it a little bit with the George Pickens video. Maybe bringing on George Pickens, getting Dak some more weapons, improving the offense. Who knows? Maybe Dallas sneaks out the East, go out in a blaze of glory as the 2 seed. Again, in the postseason. I don't know. And none of us know, but we'll find out soon enough. But I think, yeah, he deserves some money. So happy for the Eagles, what they're doing. I think they're going to be a real threat this year. And like predictions, because I'm gonna make a video. Yeah, give me Lions. Give me Lions. Give me Lions. Sorry. North, East, Southwest. Give me Lions. Give me Bucks. Give me Eagles. Lions, Eagles, Bucks. Lions, Eagles, Bucks. Rams. 49ers. Packers are going to get in there. And then Washington. I think Washington might be another team in there. Because like I can see Chicago getting it. But if Chicago's going to get it, then take away the Packers. And if the Cardinals were to get in there, take away the Rams or the 49ers. Because I don't think... I think the South is only sending one again this year. Kind of like with the AFC side. And then on the AFC, West is going to go to the Chiefs. East is going to go to the Bills. North is probably going to go to the Ravens. And then the South is probably going to go to the Texans again. Dark horse team, throw the Jaguars in there, but probably not. We know the Steelers are going to get in. Okay, let's put the Steelers here. We know the Steelers are going to get in at 9-8, whether it's Will Howard or Aaron Rodgers. So there's 5, and then we need 2 more. I want to throw the Bengals in there, and then the other team that I think, yeah, they definitely could get in. Healthy Dolphins. I'm leaning towards the healthy Dolphins, but then I'm also leaning towards, what if we have the Broncos in it again? Or what if we have, the Jaguars? Like, I don't know, that seventh seed, I think is up for grabs, because I think the AFC North is going to send 3 again, because I don't think the Colts are getting in. I don't think the Titans are getting. But hell, Cam Ward could tear it up. Maybe the Texans. Maybe it's like a whoops. We didn't do so good. We didn't do so hot this year, and maybe the Texans don't even get in the playoffs. It ends up being the Jags that win the division. The Titans would then come in a close second, where they get in with a 10-7 record, which again, that's a big stretch, because that's a lot. You're putting a lot on Cam Ward's shoulders to expect that. But Titans get in at the 7th seed. They have to go play Buffalo in Buffalo, or the Ravens in Baltimore, the 2 seed, and then they get rocked. But again, it's good experience for a rookie quarterback. Because do I think the Browns? Do I think the Colts? Do I think the Jets? Do I think the Pats? Do I think Raiders? Chargers? Like, I want to throw them up there, and I want to say, oh, absolutely. But again, this is hypothetical, man. if boy, and like they were making memes on Burrow, Herbert, and Jackson last postseason, but we'll just see. We'll just see. So that's my thoughts on that. Okay, let's now move. Let me take a swig real quick, and we'll move into the NHL. All right. So tomorrow the NHL is going to start the East and West Conference Finals, and then we'll have game. Tomorrow is going to be the Panthers and the Hurricane. I'm ready for this series. I think this series is going to be really good. I'm leaning towards the defending Stanley Cup champs. It's kind of funny to listen to other YouTubers and stuff kind of talk about how watching the Carolina Hurricane is kind of like watching paint dry. I don't agree to that sentiment, but like I really think, I mean, you compare all the goalies that are still in it: Anderson, Sergei Bobrovsky, Stuart Skinner, and then Jake Ottinger. It's even. It is really even, because I'd go, okay, Sergei's the best. Okay, yeah, you can say that, but Skinner's coming off of 2 shutouts. Ottinger made a phenomenal save the other day, lunging at the puck to give his Stars a chance to beat the Jets. So I think, which goalie would crack first? No clue. I have no stinking clue, but with how the postseason and the Final Four is set up, we got some good goalies, so there's no like outlier of, okay, we know you're the problem. And if I were to say which team looks like they struggle the most, Oilers. And the only reason why I would say the Oilers is because I'm leaning on the first 2 playoff games of how, yeah, Oilers went down 2-0 against the Kings. But again, after that, they went 6-0. So, I don't know. But Anderson, I'd say Anderson has definitely been the best goalie in this postseason so far. But, I mean, we'll see. Which, I mean, if Hellebuck played the way he had been playing in the regular season, Jets are winning the whole damn thing. But, again, playoff hockey is a totally different monster. So tomorrow I'll lean towards game 1. Let me double check. I don't know if it's in Carolina or if it's in Florida. Hold on, people. Let me double check here. While I double check, if you have any sports takes, let me know in the comment section. Here we go. Oh, no way. No stinking way. It's in Carolina. Carolina is the home favorite. Oh my gosh. Well, and in my prediction and my preview to the 2025 playoffs, like I was saying, hey, we're going to get some rematches. We could very well have some rematches. Look at this. We're having a rematch of last year's Western Conference Final, and we're having a rematch of 2023's Eastern Conference Final, with the potential, if things play out the way they play out, we're going to get a rematch of Stanley Cup Final last year. Oilers and Panthers again. Even with home ice, I don't know if Carolina. We'll just have to see how game 1 goes. Like, there's parts of me that would not be surprised if Tkachuk shows up, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Marchand, whoever it is, or show up to Carolina game 1 and it's like, whoops, we just beat you 3-0 in your barn. No, I would not be surprised. I'd not be surprised by that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if the opposite, where Anderson just plays on his head, Bobrovsky has an off night, Stahl has a goal, or Aho, or Jarvis, or Chatfield, or whoever it might be. Those are some Hurricane names I can remember, boom, off the top of my head like that. But I'll lean towards the Panthers. I'll have to look a little bit deeper and make a more educated response as to, okay, this is why I have the Panthers, not just luck and feel of, oh, it's the Panthers. But with game 1, I'm going to take Florida. I really am. But then Carolina probably evens the series up. Like, leaving Sunrise, I'll put it this way. Leaving Sunrise after game 4, I think the series is going to be 2-2. Like, I don't think Florida Because you know how Toronto went up 2-0 on the Panthers, but then they proceeded to lose 3 straight? I don't think that's what's going to happen in this series. I don't think Carolina goes up 2-0 and then loses 2 straight. Like, I have a feeling of Panthers take game 1, but then Hurricanes even it up and then go steal one in Florida. And so then, Panthers need to find a way to win because they can't be going back to Carolina down 3-1. And then so we have it's 2-2 after 4, and then it turns into a best of 3 where hopefully it can get to 7. I don't know. Like the last time these two did meet in the postseason, we were having some playoff magic with Matthew Tkachuk, and we had some OT winners, buzzer beaters, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Panthers swept the Hurricanes. So the Panthers have the Hurricanes number. I don't remember how each and every single individual game went in that series, but if I'm not mistaken, Panthers swept them. So, and then with the Oilers and Stars, the emotions are going to be high on this one. Like for this one, no, I can see Stars going up 2-0, Oilers evening the series at 2 apiece, or vice versa, where holy shit, Oilers went into Dallas, beat them twice in a row, but then it came home to Edmonton and dropped them. I could see that. I don't know if it could go 7 because like if it goes to 7, I can see Peter DeBoer's record improving to 10-0, but like for him to win 2 game 7s in one playoff, I don't know. I'm thinking it'd be tough, especially if it's you got McDavid humming, you got Draisaitl playing his best, whether it's Picard or Stuart Skinner at net. Like I wouldn't like that situation. But again, dude's undefeated in game 7s. I'm still going to lean towards the Oilers getting to the Stanley Cup final though, because I mean, I said it with Vegas and I said it with Edmonton when they played. I have a strong, firm belief that whoever wins this series, they are going to the Stanley Cup because just with how Winnipeg played against the Blues, how Dallas played against Colorado, like where those series went up and down, like the team that seemed a little bit more locked in and ready to go was Vegas or Edmonton, because I mean after Minnesota took a scary 2-1 lead, Vegas locked in for 3 straight games and got rid of them, and then after Vegas tried to make the series 2-1 after losing 2 at home, Edmonton buckled back down and won 2 straight, shutting Vegas out. So like the idea of slamming the door seems a lot more possible with Edmonton versus Dallas, but the odds of having a rematch between the Panthers and Oilers, it does make sense, but I don't know. I'd lean towards. I can also see a Hurricanes Stars final. I really can, but I have a feeling the Panthers are going Stars Panthers. Stars Panthers. I don't know. Which that would be a great goalie matchup. That would be a great like Mikko Rantanen against Tkachuk and Barkov. Like that'd be fun. Can Jamie Benn get his first cup? The potential, like, because we've had back-to-backs with Pittsburgh, we've had back-to-backs with Tampa. Could the Panthers be on the cusp of getting back-to-backs? Like, there's so many fun storylines, and there's so many fun opportunities waiting and potentially just sitting there for the NHL. But I think it's going to be good either way. I think the NHL is in really good hands, and I think it's going to be fun. So that's my thoughts on that. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Panthers. I'll probably sleep on it, but I can't confidently say who I'm leaning towards or rooting for the West, because I really don't know. Truthfully, I really don't know. I could see the Stars winning. I could see the Oilers winning. Like I really don't know. I want to say I know, but I don't. All right, well, let's see if I got anything else. Hey, thanks for the comment, man. Okay, let me double check. Let's sweep through one more time, guys. If you have any sports takes, let me know. We're here to the end of the show where I can answer your questions, see if you got any crazy sports takes. NHL referee Rooney okay? Hopes for playoff return. Yes, that did look pretty scary after he got poked. Okay, yeah, that's it. We're just getting ready. Yeah, tomorrow, Timberwolves and Thunder in OKC. I think the Thunder easily take game one. I really do. Now, the T-Wolves have snuck out game ones before. They did to the Lakers. We'll just see. NHL. Panthers and Hurricanes tomorrow. Man, dude, we're eating good. We are eating so good as sports fans. Okay, all right. People on the shorts end, we're going to do a hard out, guys. So I thank you guys for being here. Be sure to hit that like button. We'll deuce out here. Sweet. All right. And that, it's got to be a little hard out. We'll close that up. Okay. All right. Well, people, I ain't got much more to talk about. Get my thoughts on Nick Sirianni, get my thoughts on Fred Warner, both the East and the Western Conference Finals of both respective leagues. This is probably going to be the format for a little bit because, yeah, we're almost to summer, man. We are almost to summer. Actually, we'll keep that a secret. If you guys haven't noticed, I've also been playing some Doom. We might be doing more Doom later. I don't know, but yeah, that's everything. I don't have any other cool, crazy sports takes other than we will be doing predictions. Which, in fact, let me NFL schedule. Yeah, let me do something here real quick. Let me do something here real quick. Nope, wrong one. Wrong one. Look at that. Oh, it's coming. We're almost there. We're almost thinking there. So we will be doing sports predictions later. That's coming later. I only have the NFC North down. I'm debating on if I should do just a big video where we're going through game by game by game, or I don't know. I gotta figure out which one I want to do, what type and style I want to do. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all for the show. We'll wrap it up. We have gone a little long, but it is what it is. What's new? What's new? We've turned 40-minute streams into 3 hours. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you in another stream.